Hello everyone, welcome back to the second episode of the Laughter Imagine 29 podcast. I know that's a mouthful, but I don't know what else to call it, so it's fine. In today's episode, I want to talk about something that doesn't seem to get talked about a lot, and that is growing out of our hobby. Growing out of reborns, growing out of dolls. No one really ever seems to kind of discuss what they're feeling when they're going through this. We see a lot of people leave the community for various reasons, but one of the most common that I see are younger members of the reborn community, usually teenagers like myself, who will post on whether it's their reborn YouTube channel or Instagram, and they're like, well, I'm selling all my dolls, I've grown out of them, and they either like delete their account or they just leave and never return and are never heard from again, kind of a thing. I'm not saying that anyone that leaves the community with the reason being for growing out of them needs to like give, a reason why they're leaving, but I just kind of, I guess, wanted to talk about what it feels like to kind of go through that, because that's something I think that we all hope to never really experience, that we want to be a part of this hobby indefinitely and enjoy it kind of forever, and especially for younger members like myself, I'm 19, we all kind of feel like there's the potential that we might grow out of it someday, and I'm sure there's plenty of people like myself who really just hope that will never happen, and sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, and then it goes away, and then it comes back again, and so anyways, without further ado, I'm just gonna kind of get into it. I don't think this will be a super long episode just because these are kind of thoughts from the brain of Ray here. So yeah, okay. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I used to do videos on a different channel that was all American Girl dolls. That was the first YouTube channel I ever had, and then this channel kind of stemmed off of that, and this channel wound up being where I really, kind of applied myself, and it wound up being the channel that kind of exploded, where my American Girl channel, I think, has 2,000 subscribers, and this channel has, like, I want to say almost 40,000 now, which is insane. I used to do videos on a channel called American Girl 9907. That was my first channel. I started it in 2014, so 5 whole years ago, and I used to make fun and silly videos with my American Girl dolls. And my American Girl dolls is kind of where my doll collecting really started and spurred from. I got my first American Girl doll in 2007. I want to say maybe like, that's probably, that anniversary is probably coming up sometime this month, but roughly we'll say 12 whole years ago, which is insane and makes me feel old. So I got my first American Girl doll in 2007, as well as I think the second and the third, and wound up spurring from there until I accumulated, I want to say, like 17 or 18 American Girl dolls, not counting like Bitty Twins and stuff like that. But anyways, so I was super into American Girl for a hot minute, and I was still collecting through middle school and still collecting in high school and all of that, and always loved my dolls, and I never really grew out of them for the longest time. Like, they were just they were, kind of my life, and I still have all of them. I've never sold any of them, nor do I plan on it, or at least, I hope that I never need to sell any of them. But it wasn't until my life kind of took a turn towards something different was when I found that I started to lose touch with my dolls and lose interest in them. And now I think I can consciously say that I grew out of my American Girl dolls. And that's something that I never thought would happen, and I hoped would never happen, and I think it did. So in 2016, I got back into a hobby that I had pursued many years prior, which was horseback riding. And I really got into that. That started to become, I think, like my thing. And once I really was applying myself to that was when I just trickled away from my dolls. I started having less and less time to do things with them, and as a result, found less and less motivation and drive to make the time to do things with them. And slowly but surely, they all got put away in boxes, and then I took my dollhouse down and turned it back into a closet for storage. And I think kind of once that happened, it was like that part of my childhood got boxed up too, and it's still there. It's still in my closet, but it's packed up, and I don't know when or if it will get unpacked again. And I feel like I had some serious anxiety surrounding not touching my dolls and not doing things with them. And this is the stuff that I really want to talk about here, because I don't think anyone really ever talks about this. These dolls that we have poured, obviously, our time and money and passion and, you know, all of that stuff, creativity, just everything into, that we have made, you know, a lot of people make these dolls, they can make them their business, especially the reborns, with, you know, artists that paint them and sell them, and all of that becomes their livelihood. We pour all of these things into these dolls, and then for me, you know, I that's how I got into photography, and now I have a photography business, and that's how I got into film, and now I do film jobs, and that's my, you know, my dolls all led me to becoming the person that I am today. And I know that sounds probably super cheesy, but I feel like if I didn't do that first YouTube channel, and I didn't do the things that I did with my American Girl dolls and later my reborns, I don't think I would be as successful as I am, or be doing the things that to the caliber that I'm doing nowadays. Like I've been really honored with some great opportunities. Just that I feel like if I wouldn't have chased after that dream of being creative and doing, you know, things, thinking outside of the box and being unique and different in the way that I was with my dolls, I don't think I would be doing any of the stuff that I'm doing now. So to almost lose touch with, I guess, where I came from, so to speak, it was like almost like I had to, this is going to sound kind of dramatic, but it was almost like grieving a part of myself that was lost. Like, that was my childhood. That was, you know, my youth, and just not saying that I'm not still a kid and I'm not still young, but, you know, that's what I grew up doing. And to lose interest in that and to fall away from that, it was really hard, and it was really upsetting to me, because I always told myself, oh, I'll never grow out of dolls. I'll never, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I did. And I did. I felt like I lost who I was and who I am. But, you know, now in thinking about it, I feel like that's shaped me into who I am today. And the fact that I have kind of lost touch with that old version of myself is okay. But in the same breath, it's like the end of an era sort of a thing, and it's sad, and it kind of, to me, it left me feeling kind of like, well, then who am I? What do I do now that I'm not doing these things? And this is, for somebody that doesn't collect dolls, would probably think, wow, you're being super dramatic about this right now. They're just dolls. They're just plastic. Well, no. No, they're not. They, especially, like a lot of my American Girl dolls were given to me by my grandmother, who is not here anymore. She passed away in 2013. They all hold a very, very special place in my heart because they're filled with memories of her, and just it felt like I lost touch with her and I lost touch with those memories and just all of that stuff. So it was kind of like losing a part of myself. And I don't know if other people have felt like this, like that have left, doll communities or sold their dolls or, whatnot. I don't know if anybody else has felt like that or if that's just me, but this was kind of what I wanted to talk about. And now that I'm older and I have taken a little bit of break from my reborns and from YouTube, I don't know if it's happening again. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if I'm now growing out of my reborns or if I just needed a break, because I want to keep doing things with them and I want to keep doing these videos and stuff, and I don't want to grow out of them the way I grew out of my American Girl dolls, but it's always hard to tell because my life just keeps changing and going in different directions, which is great and I love it. But it's always sad to kind of let go of the familiar and let go of what you're used to, I guess, was kind of my point of this whole spiel. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever felt the same, but if you have, please let me know down below in the comments, because I would love to read your thoughts or your interpretations of kind of what you go through mentally when you let go of something familiar that has been a part of your life for many years, that has kind of shaped you into who you are. It's different and it can be hard. I think that's what it is. Change is hard. Change can be good, but it is hard. It's hard in the moment. It's hard to let go of that familiar and to move on to things that are new and unknown. And that familiar for me and for many other people was dolls. And I'm sure that that's hard to understand for people who, don't collect dolls, obviously, but apply it to something that's been familiar in your life or has been a big part of your life growing up, or something that you feel close to your heart but maybe has been drifting recently. Yeah. I don't know if this episode is going to really be anything interesting, but I thought it was worth discussing and worth talking about. And I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. I hope my thoughts weren't incomplete. I feel like I got out everything that I wanted to say, but I don't know if I kind of said everything in a way that makes sense. But I guess my point in making this was I just kind of wanted to spew my thoughts in a slightly probably confusing manner, because I feel like I'm almost going through that again with my reborns, and I don't want to be going through these things again. And I miss my American Girl dolls, and I miss that channel, and I miss doing things with them. But I think I've finally come to the closure that that's probably just not me anymore. And going back to that just wouldn't be staying in coherence to who I am now. I feel like if I were to try doing something with them again, it would be different. It wouldn't necessarily be bad, but it would be different. And I just don't know if I want to tread on different. I almost feel comfortable with the way that I've kind of left things off with the last things that I did with them, and that was a chapter in my life, and that chapter closed, and my reborns are a chapter in my life that hopefully will go on for a while, but you never know. It's okay to move on from things, and it's okay to grow out of things, because they shape us into who we are today, and can very clearly have an impact that otherwise would not have been left had we not experimented and had we not learned and tried the things that we tried. So yeah. like I said, hopefully that all made sense, but I just wanted to kind of spew my thoughts to you guys and see what your thoughts are. So leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. I think I'm just gonna wrap this up here before I ramble for like another half hour, because we all know that I will do that. So yeah, it was good to kind of spew my thoughts to you guys, I guess. Also, along with your thoughts in the comments, let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to hear me ramble about in the podcast. I have a few things written down, not quite sure what I'll do next, but I would like to do this more on the regular because I like doing this and I like talking to you guys, and I hope you guys like listening to me. And now my dog is barking, so I'm gonna go see what he's barking at. But thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking, commenting, and of course listening to this episode of the Laughter Imagine 29 podcast. I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. Not quite sure yet. But yeah, thanks for listening. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.